Hey everyone, Zoran Solano here from Hot Property Buyers Agency. I'm here with one of our long-term and VIP clients, Michael Buda, here at a property we purchased for him approximately 6 years ago. Thanks for meeting me out here, mate.
No, not a problem.
Mate, I know this is a little bit sort of, I'll get you on camera and all this sort of stuff, so don't stress too much. But the story I wanted to tell today was about Michael and his partner going through the Hot Property Buyers Agency process and actually using our services in the 4 key pillars of what we assist clients with. You guys are actually, one of the clients who've really experienced each stage of the process with us. How have you enjoyed working with the team, honestly?
Honestly, no, it's been great. So I think we started with Hot Property probably back in 2013-ish, where you bought our first property, and then working with yourself and Liz, we got this one. And the purchase was really easy. Like, we didn't even see the property when we bought this, and trusted you guys, and you did a great job.
Because you guys work big hours, you got your own business, that sort of stuff. So I guess the key for you guys was time.
Yeah, exactly.
And market knowledge and accessing that back in the buyers agency days. Then obviously through property management, our team managed it for you throughout the tenancy. Then ultimately, recently, you guys decided then to sell in order to get the capital out to go on to bigger and better things and other projects.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about the process you went through when you were thinking about selling.
Yep. So I guess it was just one day we sort of thought where we actually wanted to be and what we wanted to achieve. And so one of the things we needed to do was free up some capital, like you said. So the first thing that I did was thought, well, I've got to call Zoran because I need to know where we're sitting in the market. And so, we spoke with you, we had a meeting, we went through,
Now, was I excited when you said you wanted to sell?
Oh, look, I wouldn't say you're excited, probably more apprehensive, but you were supportive at the same time. Like, you understand that we had a certain goal, and whilst it didn't probably suit what you wanted to do,
it's not always about me, I'm learning.
You were very supportive, and you told us where we were at in the market, and you showed us some market comparisons. You gave us a valuation, and that was really the first step. And then I felt really confident just to proceed.
Yeah. And look, this process of considering selling can't be taken lightly. We go through so much effort as investors to build up a deposit to then purchase that property, and then the financial burden of holding that investment property and the maintenance and the issues that, are obviously all for the end goal of capital growth and future planning for retirement. Now, I know you guys are planning on getting in and doing some more renos and stuff like that. So I guess this leads into the next part of where we ended up here. So after sitting down and really assessing the pros and cons of selling from a non-emotive standpoint, from a dollars and cents standpoint, does it make sense to get rid of this property? And ultimately, it made sense given their plans moving forward. The next step was really renovation consulting and coming in and meeting with Michael, looking over the property and looking at, okay, where can we cost effectively renovate this property in order to maximize our resale value? So tell us a bit about that. Like, obviously we came, we had a walk through. I can see what you guys have done. You've taken it a bit further than we originally discussed, but tell us the thought process around investing in it before selling.
Yep, so that was another great thing that you guys did for us. You came out to the property, like, we didn't have to come. You went through certain, areas of the property, and then you gave me a list, and you're like, I think if you do this and this and this, then we could achieve a sort of a better result. And like you say, like, it did go a bit further than first anticipated, and that just sort of was my fault. Like, it just rolled on. But
bit of a perfectionist. So every time something is fixed, the thing beside it didn't quite look good enough. So you have to then go, well, we'll paint that as well, or whatever.
But coming out and giving me that list and engaging the trades for me, like you'd got the tiler guy, you got the handyman, you got the landscaping and all of that. Like, you had that all sorted before we even had the start date for the renovations, and so that was a massive help. And then also your consideration on the first day that we were here, you came out and Liz came out, and we all stood there and we went through everything. Barry was here as well, and it was just a massive help, rather than trying to have all that burden for myself.
I think the biggest question a lot of sellers have is, do I even spend money? Like, do I just leave it as it is? And we could have done that. It was a very saleable property as it was. Would we have achieved the result, and we'll go into that shortly, that we achieved if you didn't? No. In this environment, we really sat down and thought, okay, What do we need to do? Step one, it was a tenanted property. Unfortunately, we needed to vacate that tenant in order to get a successful sale, because our current market is really dominated by owner-occupiers, and ultimately that's who bought the property and paid the premium dollar that we were happy to accept. But all the works we've done, or you guys have done, have then amplified that home buyer demand for this property, which is what we wanted to do. Obviously, then the next part of our vendor advocacy service, when it came to it, is agent selection. So, we shopped around agents, we looked at who had market share, who we thought was confident to give us the best result, and who was going to work really hard for us. And we got a couple of agents out and got their opinions on price, but also as well assess them as agents. How did you think about ultimately our end agent selection? Happy with the result?
Absolutely. I think you probably got the best agent in Australia. For me, Alex was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it was unreal. She was so good to work with. So
no, definitely.
I think that's probably one of the most important things, or helpful things, that you guys did for us, was found us that agent.
Yeah. Otherwise, what do? You jump on Rate My Agent, or an agent finder website, and ultimately go, oh, well, let's shoot in the dark and hope that those reviews are right, or hope that their results actually come out. But, as a buyer's agent, I deal with agents on a daily basis. So I know the ones we want to buy from and those we want to sell through, and they're two very different agents. So in closing, what I quickly wanted to do is and I've got some notes here, it's why I've been holding a piece of paper this whole time. We're in Geebung, Brisbane's north side, around 10 k's out from the CBD. The property was purchased back in 2014 for around the early 500s. Great buying at the time. The property then was rented out, and we achieved around 4.9% gross rental yield. How does that compare to the area average? Well, over the last 10 years, Geebung as a suburb has performed at a 2.83% annual growth rate. So when you refer to the original purchase price and the ultimate sale price we achieved, which was in the mid 600s, we achieved 4.49%. So there's a 60% variance in the area average to what we achieved. What do you think that comes down to?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to the property management, I guess, because we rented through you guys, used Hot Property for our property management. And knowing the market and knowing what was actually achievable for rent also, helped us get that. And then obviously the renovation pushed the dollar value, the end dollar value up. So
we need to consider that. Obviously, we've artificially pushed that value up by doing a renovation, but also that's all has tax benefit and and all that sort of benefit as well. So although we spent 30, 40 grand, whatever the end figure was, which for a lot of people go, geez, you spent that much money only just to sell it. Well, how did that then translate into results? So when we first met, if you're happy to share it, what is the dream figure that you wanted to net out of this process? What would you be comfortable with?
Yeah, so when we first met, we were hoping to get 70,000.
To pull about 70,000 out of the term of ownership, and having had the property, if they could walk away with around 70, you'd be comfortable. Yeah. What did we end up netting?
So it's about 150. So it was
pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Smile on his face for a reason. So, guys, what that now does, that extra cash, that over double the amount that they were expecting, really means that we're on the hunt for the next renovation project. Really, that's where you guys want to head, hey?
Yeah. So, which is the first property that you guys bought for us back at Mount Gravatt.
Yeah. So now, I guess the next plan, just to let you guys in a little bit further, is we always have a strategy with the property we purchase, and another property we purchased from Michael. One of the strategies was that one day we would do a major renovation, or maybe even a knockdown new build. And with market movement in Mount Gravatt, where the property is located, the market's just gone ridiculous, and everyone's knocking down and renovating and that sort of stuff. So again, we say goodbye to this one. It's done its job. It's given us a great little injection of cash to then move on to other bigger and better things in the portfolio. So, mate, thank you very much. Really appreciate you entrusting us, and you're a valued client, and appreciate this time doing this.
Hope we can continue working together.
That's it.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys. If you have any questions in relation to this or any of our videos, please give me a call on 3170 3760 or pop me an email. I'd love to have a chat about your property needs.